Hello, I'm Monroe County Mayor Mitch Ingram. I want to welcome you to our small business training today here in Sweetwater. We're very excited to have some young ladies in their business entrepreneurship come and share some ideas with each other and network and give some tips. And you know, this is actually one of the trainings that we do that is in our 3-star program here in Monroe County. And I just want to give just a small overall summary of what 3-star is. We're very proud to be 3-star certified in Monroe County, as it's one of the stipulations or the requirements for many of our grant systems that we have through our state economic development and tourism. You know, Main Street, small business, tourism enhancement grants, a lot of those grants that we receive here in Monroe County revolve around the 3-star program. Since 2013, Monroe County, Sweetwater, Madisonville, and Tellico have received over $576,000 from 3-star grants. So we're very excited about the match stipulations and the match that we get from being a part of these programs. So enjoy today's panel. Thank you very much.
Welcome everybody, I'm Brady Gentry with the Monroe County Chamber of Commerce, and we're so excited to be bringing you this small business training today. We have Jessica Morgan with the City of Sweetwater, Julie Holt, Brenda Bryan, and Misty Kelly Pena. Take it away, Jessica.
Thank you, Brandy. Well, ladies, thank you so much for being part of our panel today. We're so excited to have you. First, I'd just like for you to introduce yourself and tell us what business you represent, how long you've been in business, and what city you operate.
I'm Julie Holt. I've been in business for 16 years with Shelter Insurance in Madison.
And I'm Brenda Bryan. I'm in Sweetwater. I've been in business for 44 years at the Lily Pad.
And I'm Misty Pena, and I have owned the M Salon in Vonore for 16 years and Sweetwater Institute of Cosmetology here in Sweetwater for 9 years.
Perfect. These ladies represent a great diverse type of businesses in Monroe County. They're kind of our all-stars, so we thought they were the right ones to put on this panel to talk to you all today, give you some advice if you're thinking about starting a business in Monroe County, or if you're having struggles of small business, which everybody has been these last couple of years. So we're going to hop right in. Specific to your industry, which are obviously 3 different industries, tell us what changes you see coming for your industry.
For me, it's probably the technology, the way that our clients communicate with us. It used to be important to have a storefront and they would come in and do business face to face. We've had to adjust by learning and getting programs where they can text us, of course email, these other types of technology that we need to put in place to help our business.
Brenda, how about you in the Lily Pad? What about retail?
It would have to be many of the same, where 44 years we have been buying at market, or to be able to look at the merchandise, touch and feel, and doing our buying that way. During COVID, we had to learn to buy virtually. We had to learn to do fashion shows virtually. That with the more casual lifestyles has totally changed their industry. Like, for 2 years, nobody was dressing up at all. Now we are seeing it come back, but definitely technology, both from the buying and, like I said, even to buying online. That we unfortunately had our online store up and running when August began, so certainly that's been the biggest change to our industry.
Misty, how about for both of your businesses?
In the beauty industry, the positive changes that are going on are just like crazy, amazing growth. There's so many new things coming, and the growth is just amazing. Salons, service providers, and beauty suppliers have grown like 30% in the last 2 years. So the growth in our industry is absolutely amazing. There's a high demand for more people in the industry, which is great for my beauty school. The negative changes that are happening in our industry right now are that there are a few states who have deregulated our industry and not making people have licenses. So in Tennessee, we're really fighting hard to keep regulated and keep licensed and keep our industry professional. So that's kind of, positive and negative things that are going on in our industry right now.
So because of what what you just brought up, I'm gonna start with you on the second question. What challenges have you faced that made your business stronger? And if you have something like the deregulation that is a challenge that maybe hasn't made it stronger yet, feel free to talk about that too. But are there anything that you face that actually made your business stronger?
I mean, I definitely think COVID did kind of make our business stronger, just as a business owner, to see the impact of how we were supported during that time. I chose to go to my business and sell products while we were shut down and we couldn't do services. I sold products, and it was just absolutely amazing to me, the support that I received and the encouragement. And besides products, tons of people came in and bought gift certificates. So the support from our community was amazing, and then the support from my staff, we grew a lot closer during COVID. And so when we were allowed to reopen, I feel like we came back so much stronger, and our business has really flourished since we reopened from COVID. So it was a really hard, struggling time, but we came out a lot stronger for a lot of different reasons.
That's awesome. And it's good. I mean, the community support is huge, but also just that you all bounced back and you pushed through that hard time and were able to come back even stronger. That's awesome. Brenda, how about you?
Very similar, the very same situations, because we had to shut down for those 2 months. We were still doing our online sales, so we were there every day, and we chose to remodel the store totally, which meant taking up carpet, putting down new hardwood, which took a month that we would have never closed just to get new flooring. So we tried to utilize that time. And I think people, really appreciated that. And again, like Misty said, the support of what we were selling online. So certainly, I feel like we came out of it stronger.
For me, I guess it was losing the face-to-face with our clients. So we had to maintain relationships by, calling more often, emails, kind of checking in. And now that we've gotten back into where, we can have appointments in our office now face-to-face, we are still maintaining, texting, calling, and doing that. So I think it's kind of broadened our communications, and it's become more of a habit now where we didn't really have that before. We'd always have appointments and come in and do, face-to-face. And this way we have that, and now we have more. And even with like the Teams meetings and things like that, where even with me and other agents in my industry now, where before we'd have to go to Crossville or Cookville or Knoxville for our meetings, we can now have them with our teams because we're used to it, and we can do it a little bit more often than what we were able to before. And so I think having that connection with other agents is stronger now than it was before. So I appreciate that.
It's kind of like trench warfare, when you're in the like you were saying about your staff, Misty, about how when you go through something like that together, it makes you stronger. It really does. So since we kind of talked about and touched on COVID already, even though we're all sick of talking about it, but it is such a relevant thing right now. Have you taken advantage of any of the federal or state programs for COVID relief? Did any of you do PPP loans? Obviously, you don't have to get into any detail, but just kind of as advice to maybe other business owners. PPP loans, did you get any of the State Department of Revenue sales tax grant that they did in the initial? Did anybody do small business loans? Have they helped? And did you do it by yourself, or did you get an accountant, or did you have someone assist you? Just kind of give us a little bit about COVID relief specifically, how it affected your business, and if you took advantage of any of that.
I did, and it was a really simple process because my banker just contacted me and said that you're eligible, this is something that we can do for you. And I was like, we'll go right ahead and just
Was that a local bank?
It was a local bank.
Which bank was it?
Capstar.
Capstar Bank reached out. Very nice, Capstar. Way to go. Yeah.
And so I didn't feel like I really had to do hardly anything for that, and it was a tremendous help during that time. It was tremendous.
Even just mentally,
Mentally,
someone was in your corner.
that somebody was helping and taking the stress off of me, and it's just one less thing that I had to try to do, that I had no idea. So that was a tremendous help for me.
Wonderful.
Kudos to Capstar from me. So because, our banker absolutely
Wonderful.
walked us through it.
Wonderful.
And yes, we did take advantage of it, and it was
good, I'm fine here. Misty, how about you?
I reached out to a local bank at first and was told to do it online, and I tried, and I got very overwhelmed and gave up and almost didn't get that help. And I had People's Bank reach out to me and ask if I had took advantage of it, and I said no. And so Vanessa Lewis from People's Bank just took over on a Sunday, called me and said, Misty, I'll do everything for you. And so I shot my accountant a message on a Sunday, Warren and Talent, and they took care of everything. I keep saying on a Sunday because I was just, you're in the middle of your business being shut down and craziness going on, and so it just meant the world to me that on a Sunday that these two got together and completely did it all, and then took care of everything from there. So the next round they took care of, and then when I had to, report it on my taxes and all that stuff, they, worked together and took care of everything. So,
Awesome.
Local banks just made it
Yeah,
super
this sounds like
easy.
a real plug for local banks.
Yes.
I mean,
And that just, that did help our business tremendously, even when some employees, after we came back to work, got COVID and were out of work, we were able to pay them for that time that they were out because of that money. And just having that stress off of you as a business owner to know, okay, I'm gonna be able to pay my rent. We did just constantly have different people in the business that got COVID. And so, having them out, being able to pay them, but then also having that extra money to pay, to take care of the income that they would have been bringing into the business. So it was just a tremendous help and stress reliever to our business.
okay, so let's talk about some fun, happy things. Now, think about your industry, and what about your industry excites you? It may be the same thing that 44 years ago excited you, or is there something new? What is that passion? What drives you? What's the thing that draws you to your industry? What makes you love your industry? Julie?
For me, it's still the same thing as it was when I started. I've always loved the insurance industry because it can help people at their worst times. When they face devastation with fire, tornadoes, I've been there and seen it. What a relief it is to know that you can help them. When you deliver a life insurance check to when someone's lost someone, it's very touching. And every time I've done that, I've always wished it was even more. And I've never had a customer say, oh, this is too much. That is still what excites me. That is still what it's about for me. And I think that's what it will always be about for me, helping people at their worst times.
Sometimes we get to help people at their best
Yeah,
times.
that's probably.
Oh.
Weddings, that
Yeah.
kind of thing. And it is, that's what that passion comes from, being able to work with your customers and see what it can mean to them. And in ours, of course, it's constantly changing. Like we just got back from market, so it's very exciting to see what the colors are going to be for fall, what the styles are going to be, to watch how the styles change. Like I said, the fact that everything has gone more casual, we have seen a tremendous change in the business. So it's very exciting, and it's also very exciting for us to get to go to market and be surrounded there by people who share that same passion we do, both from as a buyer and as a fellow store owner. So it's the excitement of change and getting to know your customers and what they want and developing those relationships with them.
I wonder how many Mother of the Bride's dresses you had sold through 44
Lots.
years. Yeah, a lot. How about you, Misty?
Everything about our industry excites me. Owning a salon and a school, I get to see people from the first day that they walk into the school and they're nervous and they don't know how to hold a comb, and I get to watch them for a year while they're at my school. And that's one of my favorite things in the world, is to watch people grow. And so that really excites me, getting to watch them and just know that they're going to make a difference in somebody's life. They're going to get to maybe do their first haircut, and then we go to the funeral home a lot. We do their hair for the last time, so we get the good and the bad. One thing that I really have become passionate about and I love I think most people know how much I do love our county, but I love that beauty professionals in our county are making amazing money, and if they choose to stay right here in our county and make really great money doing something that they love and enjoy, they can do that. So I love that. I'm super excited about the different salons that have came to our county, or the ones that have been here that are starting to take some advantage of new education that's out there, and offering new services. And I know there's some salons in Tellico Plains right now that are just killing it and doing amazing and offering all kinds of services. Same thing with Madisonville and Sweetwater and Bonor. And so those are the things that excites me, is that there's always something new going on. The demand is through the roof for people, and I just love that if people choose to stay right here in our county and work and make a good living, that they can.
Yeah, that's a great avenue. We always say at the city, and I'm sure the county talks about this a lot too, that our goal as government is to create a place that when our kids go off to school, they want to come back and work here and live here and raise a family here. So that resonates a lot with me. I totally get what you're saying. So as far as being an entrepreneur, a business owner, there's a lot of not fun things about that. There's a lot of paperwork, there's a lot of taxes, there's a lot of regulations, there's a lot of stuff, training, but what are your favorite things about owning your own business? And kind of think of, there's a high school student out there that's not really sure what they want to do, maybe they want to own a business one day. What are they going to love about that? What's the best parts of that? Misty, why don't you start that one?
My favorite part is not running the business. But I mean, I do run the business, so that's my least favorite part. But my favorite part of our business and our industry is the people. And I think that's just so important to me, the customer service part, and getting to talk to different people each day, and young people and old people and everything in between. So it's, for our industry, it just never gets boring to me, because you've got a different person in your seat. And I no longer do hair, but those years that I did, the people in my chair taught me how to be a better mama, and how to be a better listener and wife and teacher. And so that's my favorite thing about my business, is just the people part of it. And then, like I said, owning the school, I get to watch the people grow, and even I didn't go to cosmetology school until I was 28, so those are some of my favorite people too, is the people who it's their second thing in life that they're doing, and to get to watch them, maybe they had a job for years that they had to do to pay bills, and now they're getting to go back to school and do something that they love and they're passionate about, and I just love that part of our business.
Yeah. Brenda, what's your favorite part of being an entrepreneur for 44 years now?
And still loving. Ooh, still loving.
And loving it so much that even your granddaughter is on board and going to be doing it too. Yeah.
And she has seen the good, bad, and the ugly,
Oh,
so
I'm sure.
she knows that. My favorite part would be truly in owning your own business. You see that the rewards of reaping what you sow. Whatever, however much you want to put into it. It's, my thinking is it's usually best to start small, if you can, because in the beginning, especially in mine, you are the bookkeeper, the janitor, the shipping department, the receiving department. You're everything. So my favorite part is that I have been able to start small and grow the business. Like moving downtown was my 5th move, and each time it was to gain more space. So the fact that if you work hard, then
It pays off.
yeah.
It still does.
My part, the first thing that I thought of when you asked that question was the flexibility. Like, I'm my own boss, so I'm not told you have to be there from 9 to 5, Monday through Saturday. If there's a day that I want to take off to go to my kids' program at school, I'm my own boss, I can do that. That just having that flexibility to me makes all the difference, I think, just being able to do that. And I guess I can admit I'm a control freak, so I like being in control of my own business and deciding what I want to sell and what we want to do and what direction we want to go. And like she said, what you want to put into it's what you get back out of it. So, you know, if there's some times that you take off, then you'll see maybe you're not reaping as much. And so it's the flexibility and then just having the control. That's it for me.
Okay, so if you're talking to another small business owner and they're trying to pick your brain about resources, is there anything that comes to mind as, you know what, this really helped me, or I use this group, or I use this program, or I found this software, or what has helped you? And maybe it's human resources, maybe it's that a certain person has kind of directed you in the right way, but some resources you might be able to share with other small businesses as they, I mean, in COVID times and in just regular times of business, what resources have been valuable to you? We've kind of already touched on local banking, so anything other than that that's been a real asset to you?
I was going to say 3 things. I would definitely have a lawyer, I would definitely have my own accountant, and I would definitely have a local personal banker. And then as a small business person, I think they will be able to give you any advice for things that you don't know, like taxes, you know, payroll, those things. I could tell you anything about insurance, but I didn't know about those when I started. You know, corporations, sole proprietorship, all that, you know, that can be, you know, helped with through a lawyer. So I would recommend those 3 for sure. Have those on hand.
Yeah.
Oh, totally
Even for
agree.
small businesses, right?
Oh, totally, even for small
Probably
businesses.
more so,
Especially.
because your corporations have.
Yes,
They
they have a whole
have
team.
for that.
They have a whole team.
Like I said, you
Yeah.
are everything. You're the janitor, you're the bookkeeper, right, Julie?
Yes.
So, very much exactly
Mhm.
what Julie said. You
Okay.
need those resources in addition to your banker, for
Yeah.
sure.
Misty, how about you?
I definitely think those 3 things, and then as far as other resources, just our chamber does, you know, a ton for me. And then just like you said, human resources. Before I opened the beauty school, I had thought on that for about a year, and I contacted Linda Jenkins, who owned the beauty school here in Sweetwater for years, and she was just, you know, a wealth of knowledge to me. And I've said it so many times that it's been crazy how many people have been kind enough to share with me. And I don't even remember how I met this lady in Alabama that owns a beauty school, but she invited me to come there and spend the whole day. She's going through the process like we are of becoming accredited and getting financial aid. And I spent the whole day with her, and she just opened up everything to me and, you know, gave me any knowledge that she had about that. So for me, definitely bankers and lawyers. My accountant's been amazing through the years, but just those people too who are in your industry and, you know, are kind enough to ask questions. The M Salon is starting to build a new building, and even with that property I was thinking about purchasing, I called, what's the real estate office downtown Sweetwater?
Realty executives, maybe.
Realty executives, yes. So I called them and asked, you know, just on a personal level, do you feel like this is a good deal? Do you feel like this space is big enough for what I'm wanting? And they were just super kind. And then the local architect, Sam, I had him take a look at it to see if he thought it was big enough. And I mean, just, you know, just out of the kindness of their hearts, were just kind enough to talk to me and give me their opinions on stuff. And so I think that too, sometimes just not being afraid or embarrassed just to ask other people who are smarter than you their opinions on stuff. That's helped me so much over the years, and then I've chose to just pass that on to people. So I think your main people, your banker, your lawyer, your accountant, but then not being afraid to just ask other people that are in your business.
Yeah, so that networking, probably all 3 of you do that to some degree in something in your industry, whether that's through continuing education classes and training or market or any of those. So that's really good advice, I think. Speaking of advice, what's a piece of advice you would give someone thinking about starting a business in Monroe County? We've kind of already talked about get a local banker, a lawyer, and an accountant, so that may be it. But is there anything specific that you think you would pass on as advice to somebody, maybe something, what to get involved in or how to go about doing it, or what advice would you give?
For me personally, I think go ahead and get involved in the community, but let it be not something that you're just trying to get your name out. Let it be something genuine, something that you're really truly interested in. and just get to know the people. That's I
Being
think-
authentic.
Yeah, being authentic and genuine, and getting to know the people in Monroe County, and I think you'll do great.
And again, like both of you had said, the chamber and your city people also, you know, and try to be a part of whichever area of the county you're in. You know, you need to be involved to let people know that yes, you are committed. for
I
the
bet if
long
we
haul.
started counting how many Little League teams y'all had sponsored, we'd probably have quite a few, or all those things are important. And people
Yes.
remember that too, especially those parents that have to make the phone calls and say, will you please sponsor this? They do remember that.
Because of where we are also, our area extends way beyond Monroe County too. So, you know, you have to be willing to be involved in those areas and their passions.
I think my advice if somebody's starting a business in Monroe County is something that Brenda said earlier, starting small. Even with the school, she wanted to sell that building, and I talked her into letting me lease it for 3 years. And so I've just, you know, both of my businesses, I started extremely small and kept them as debt-free as I could. And so everything in the school was actually used equipment when we first started, just because I didn't want to start a business with tons of debt. So I definitely think that was really good advice, to try your best to start small. And then going back to my advice again, like, I don't know who sends them to me or if they just find me, but I've had a lot of different business owners here in Sweetwater come and talk to me before they open their business. And I love that, and I, you know, welcome it. I always welcome them. I'm always very eager to share any knowledge that I have. But I definitely think going around and talking and getting to know other business owners here and seeing, you know, how things are and what we need and what we can. And there's some businesses that have came to town that I didn't even know we needed that have just done absolutely amazing. So, and then like both of them said, just really getting involved in the community and letting them know that we do support the community and we, you know, appreciate their support back. So
I've heard you say a couple of things that made me want to reiterate. There's a certain boldness to being an entrepreneur. Like, you can't be afraid to ask. You do have to kind of sometimes.
Can't be afraid of no.
Yeah, exactly. You have to ask for the sell. You have to, you know, and there's a boldness to saying, I don't know how to do this, so I need help, or I need somebody to help me. So I think y'all are really good examples of that. What is something that you wish you had learned earlier in your business? Is there any lessons that took you longer to learn than you wish it would have, or if you were, you know, if you could go back, something you would have done sooner? Anyone?
I think mine was that figuring out you can't do it all.
Still learning that one.
Yeah.
Everyone's about it.
Yeah.
You can't?
Not really. That's
That's a
the
good
hard
one. That's a good one.
issue.
And what did that result in?
Probably everything not being done as well as would have been had I been able to let go.
Almost burn out.
Yeah.
Almost burn out.
Yeah.
Doing it yourself. Probably made more mistakes if I hadn't been doing so many multitasks.
Sure.
So you have to know that that's,
Ask for help.
For life in general,
Yeah.
especially running a business. Yeah. Misty, what do you wish you
think-
learned?
what you said earlier, I had never looked at it as being bold, but I mean, when I bought the M Salon years ago, I didn't have any business experience at all. So I did go a few years without asking questions and just scraping by. So I definitely think being bold and just not being embarrassed to ask questions and to start getting any classes that you can. So I love it that you guys offer some classes, the chamber offers some amazing classes. So just getting in any education that you can and not being afraid to ask people questions. And then I do think, like she said, you can't do it all. So surrounding yourself with a really good team. And I have to say, like early on when I first opened the M Salon and I wasn't making a lot of money, I was just hiring anybody that was good at their job. And a few years later, I figured out that if I would hire people with amazing hearts, I could teach them how to do hair and nails, but I couldn't teach them how to have a good heart. So when I started hiring people that just had a great heart, our business just went through the roof. So we are really in a people business, and so when I surrounded myself with a great team, our business just grew like crazy. So and letting other people do things, I think maybe all of us have trouble with that delegation of giving things to other people, but after 16 years, I finally learned to start doing that, and it makes our life easier and, just calmer. And so I wish I'd have learned that a long time ago.
Well, ladies, why don't you give one last plug for your businesses? If you've got something new coming up, if you've got something you want to tell everybody about, go ahead and tell them where they can find you. It's your chance to plug away. Go ahead, Julie.
I didn't know you was going to let us do a commercial. Well, I'm personal lines for auto, home, and life insurance, and I'm in Madisonville, and so I just appreciate anybody locally that would like to come and support my business too.
Awesome.
We are having a spring open house that we haven't done before, and it will be on Saturday and Sunday, March 23rd and 24th. But also promote your entire area, not just my business.
Right.
That's what we try to do in the store when we're doing fashion shows or whatever. We are trying to get them to the city. If we can get them to the city, then it gives everybody an opportunity. So in promoting my business, I always try to promote the county, Sweetwater City. So I think that's important too, is that it's not so much as just pulling it into your business as getting to this area.
Brenda also does a really great job, and I think this is super helpful, of if they can't find it at her store, or they're looking for somewhere to eat, or they're looking for something else, she will send them to other places and help promote those other businesses. And I think she knows that the rising tide floats all boats. So if she can make our general area look good, then we're going to have more business, and everybody's going to benefit from that. Misty?
I think to end, just, I have the cosmetology school here in Sweetwater. We've had amazing support from Sweetwater. Lots of people for our students to work on. I love bringing that school back to Sweetwater because our prices are super, super cheap. So we service a lot of elderly people and a lot of just lower income people who couldn't have those services done, just anywhere else. So we love being able to service our area, but we also truly appreciate the people who come and see us and help our students along their journey of, growing into a stylist. And at the M Salon, we're just a full service salon up there offering hair, skin, nails, massages, everything. So we just really appreciate everybody's business and just absolutely love our community and where we're at.
Well, ladies, thank you so much. I couldn't have found a better panel. Y'all are such a great representation of the different businesses in Monroe County and anywhere. And I really appreciate your time today. You guys are rock stars.
Thanks for having me.